Welcome to the Gate 7 International Podcast, your official English source for all things Olympiacos FC and Greek football.
The first day of training is when I realized, this is why they win the league every year.
When I spoke with Kevin, if I gonna sign or no for Olympiacos, he said, you are crazy, go direct, my friend.
Να πετύχω ήθελα να μείνω στην ιστορία του Ολυμπιακού.
I can't speak, sure.
Yeah.
Έλα μαλάκα!
Σ' αγαπώ πάρα πολύ, Πειραιάς. Είμαι Γάβρος πάντα, όλοι μαζί.
What is up, everyone? Good evening. It is a Wednesday night, May 11th. Summer is in the air. It's quite warm here in Geneva. We just watched an hour ago Olympiacos lose 2-1 to Panathinaikos. Really tragic shit. What's new? That's the life these days, everyone. It's not great. Olympiacos started with a 4-3-3 with a relatively strong starting lineup as compared to what we saw at the weekend with Aris. Didn't make much of a difference, as it hasn't made much of a difference all season. Starting with Vachlik in goal, Kenny Lala out right, Oleg Reabchuk, Sokratis Papastathopoulos, Avram Papadopoulos in the back, and Jan Envia, Mari Kamara, Agibu Kamara, and then up front, wing duo of Ronnie Lopez, Gary Rodriguez, and the striker, the killer, Youssef El Arabi. So that's how the game started. But first, why don't we just soak this in? Olympiacos has failed to beat Panathinaikos this season and scored, I believe, one goal.
Yeah.
Across
four matches.
Season. Across 4 matches. And also, this is strange. This is our first episode since Olympiacos won the title. Olympiacos is champions of Greece. The rest of the games this season don't mean anything, but still losing to Panathinaikos in the way that Olympiacos just did is embarrassing on home field. Down 2-0 at one point, not looking lively. Same old. And we put the question out, can Pedro Martins take this team in 3 months to the Champions League group stages? As Olympiacos says, they're ready to do this summer. It's hard to see at the moment. It's hard to see with some of the transfer rumors of Feguli in Kuku and the rumor mill starting again for the recycled wingers from Turkey. It just seems nothing has changed. So that's that. Costa, I don't know if you have any comments after my long introduction. We also have the other Costas with a C joining us in just a few minutes as well. So pretty full gang. Peter's back from Antarctica as well. Maybe he'll be on an episode soon. Maybe a basketball episode. Basketball's enjoyable these days, but we'll see. Costa, take it away.
Well, I mean, I think first of all, you meant George, Kevin, and Kundu, not Nkunku. I'm pretty sure Christopher Nkunku is not too keen on joining Olympiacos these days.
I don't know. For fuck's sake, Nkunku.
Not after an
know,
incredible season with RB Leipzig, where he basically contributed to every single goal in every single match. I don't think he's too keen to join Olympiacos these days. But you know what? I don't have the info on that one. Well, yes, you mentioned Olympiacos played their 4-2-3-1 formation. Thomas Vaclik, Olympiacos MVP this season, was between the sticks. Kenny Lala, Olympiacos' non-MVP this season, was at right back with Oleg Reabchuk on the other side. Sokratis Papastathopoulos with Avram Papadopoulos, the centre back duo. Madi Kamara and Yannin Villa in midfield with Agibu Kamara playing in the hole. Ronnie Lopez, Gary Rodriguez on the wings, and Youssef El Arabi leading the line. Olympiacos went back to their starters. It's a funny thing because a lot of people were complaining last week that Olympiacos were playing their seconds because they were planning to give the game away. But now I'm going to tell you that the way things are going, people are going to start complaining every time Olympiacos play their starters in a game. They're going to be thinking they're giving that game away. Olympiacos basically Olympiacos fans must be feeling the same way Aris fans are thinking about the fact that they lost to Olympiacos' thirds a few days ago, which was very embarrassing. And now Olympiacos can't beat one of the weakest Panathinaikos of all time. And I gotta say, I've watched Panathinaikos at their finest. I've watched them like when they were unstoppable. Back then with Karagouni, Bassina, Seitaridis, Nikopolidis, Hendriksen, Liberopoulos, Vazecha, Konstantinou. And I got this to say, guys. If that Panathinaikos, the Panathinaikos of old, were playing against this Olympiacos side, they would have mopped the fucking floor all 4 games. They would have made that Olympiacos team. Thank God they don't have to face them in the Greek Cup. And if Olympiakos' former guard that couldn't win a single game away in Europe, I'm talking about Amanatidis, Anatolakis, Pados, Mavrogenidis, those players who were in no way world class, if they played against that Panathinaikos side, tonight's Panathinaikos side, they would have mopped the floor all 4 times. Say whatever you want about those players, but every time they saw green, they were like a bull in a china shop. We had a discussion recently about how we want to see Olympiakos next season, and there were a lot of answers. I had the chance to think about it a little more, and I gotta say, I listened to Rio Ferdinand on his Vibe with 5 podcast, and he was talking about Man United's 4-0 loss at Brighton. And he was basically questioning the lack of mentality and the lack of voices in the dressing room, lack of atmosphere, character. Is anyone speaking up in the dressing room? Is anyone putting anyone in line? Is anyone going to take this moment to shout and say, guys, is this you? Is this you? I don't feel Olympiacos have that either. If there's one thing they have in common, Man United, that's the one right now. Olympiacos need to find a character, and right now the only character they could have in this horrendous league, because we've said it before, Olympiacos are not winning the league because they're the best. They're winning it because they're the least worst. The only way they could do it, the only thing they can do right now is to copy Bayern Munich, not become Bayern Munich and win Champions League. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they need to be in the Greek league what Bayern Munich are in the Bundesliga. You gotta put it this way. We win everything and we push in Europe. We need to show everyone that we are a world of our own within this world. But Olympiacos are far from it right now. And you said it best, Labro, and I'm going to stop talking right now. This summer stinks of Hapoel Beersheva. It stinks of Maccabi Tel Aviv. It stinks of Ludogorets. This team is not getting in the Champions League. It's not getting in the Europa League, and it probably doesn't even get in the conference. So, yeah, a lot of changes need to happen like yesterday.
Yeah. What I was saying, I think, a few weeks ago about setting a standard, I think is really important tonight. After, who did we lose with? I don't know, with PAOK in the cup after we went out. But also now...
Well, they didn't lose. They were eliminated.
They were eliminated with PAOK and now losing to Panathinaikos. It just seems like Olympiacos is at the point, and we're getting comments as well, and guys, I'll read your comments in a second. We're at the point where there's no standards at Olympiacos. The fans are feeling unattached to the team. We played Panathinaikos in a pretty empty Kariskaki Stadium. I know it doesn't mean much for a playoff, and I know some fans are not motivated, but I just feel there's a disconnect at the moment from the fans and the team, and I think the standards the club has for itself is a big reason for that. I think that's a big difficulty. Martins has done things that other coaches at Olympiacos would never do, losing multiple cups. He's lost 3 cups in his 4 years. He's lost to Lamia. He's lost to PAOK back-to-back now. He lost 3-0 at home with Atalanta, fantastic team, but 3-0 at home. He's lost now with Panathinaikos at home. I just don't understand how he can continue. I don't think he has the locker room. I think the locker room's lost. I think everyone knows that. But he doesn't have the fans anymore. And I think the fans are getting disenchanted with Olympiacos. The fans are moving away from the team. The stadium's pretty empty on most occasions. And I think the club needs to send a signal that, no, this is not good enough. No, this is not what we stand for. And make the hard decision and admit they were wrong to re-sign Pedro Martins. And he needs to go in the summer. But Will they do it? I don't know. Tonight was really, really bad. It was a really bad mentality from the whole way. The subs were fucking horrific with Tiquinho coming on and then Avram starting 2 games in a row at 37, 38 years old, could barely play, should have been sent off before halftime. Like, why is Avram Papadopoulos even playing? I don't know. I know he played well against Aris. Good on him, but I just don't get the point. I don't know what to say anymore. I think I'm just repeating myself, really. Olympiacos is really freaking bad. And if they were losing tonight because they were playing good football, but they just couldn't score, that's fine. That's one thing. But it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. I don't know. And I'll start by reading your comments, guys, now. We start out from Sparos with the Martins out. And Manosskate7 goes, good evening, guys. Good evening to you as well. And all of the red and white fans listening. Proud that we're Olympiacos. The football team is sick. This team is really sick. Scored 1 goal in 4 games. We haven't beat Panathinaikos all season. We scored 1 goal against Panathinaikos all season. In Cuckoo. Yeah, okay, I messed up the name. In Cuckoo. Fetano says, you win some, you lose some. Losing an inflated playoff derby after winning the league doesn't ruin my evening, at least. Game-wise, we were okay. Not bad. Not bad, not good. Yeah, I thought we sucked pretty much, but yeah, we always suck, so I don't know. We got Martins out. We have another Martins out with Sparos. We're just blaming the players in the team. Why not the mentality? Yeah, the mentality is really bad, and that's what I mean.
We just said it.
The mentality is stinking from all around. I think standards are really low at the club at the moment.
I'm not too sure about all that, but surely I don't know or see who is the one speaking in the dressing room when things go apeshit. Like Rio Ferdinand, one of the things he said is that if he was playing in that Man United team, the kit man would know he has a lot of work to do because Ferdinand would smash everything in that locker room. And so would other of his famous teammates like Vidic, Scholes, Giggsy. Fuck me, Roy Keane would have smashed heads as well. But I just cannot see anyone speaking in that dressing room. What about you, Costa? What do you think? Is anyone speaking in the dressing room?
First of all, Kalispera. Good morning, wherever you're listening from. Good afternoon. It's very interesting you raised that point because I watched the last 15, 20 minutes with my wife. And literally I was telling her, this is what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. Watch. Yeah. Because we were so predictable in how we were playing today. But besides that, do you know what my wife said to me? She asked me, who are the leaders on this team?
Oh.
Yeah. She asked me that exact question. So who are the leaders on this team? And I answered, that's a very good question. And it's not like we haven't talked about this before. Actually, when we talked to Stel from the Omonia No Choftes podcast towards the beginning of the season, he asked the question, who are the people in the dressing room when things go wrong that are going to grab, the younger players or the players in general in the dressing room and try and motivate, fix things, bring people together. It just seems like we have a dressing room at the moment where, and of course, I'm not there every day, like none of us are there, but what I perceive is that you have one corner here, another corner over there, another corner here. You've got players that are disgruntled in one corner. You've got players that are happy in another. Some other players that don't really care in another. It's not a team. You compare the basketball team this year, who before every game they huddle up and they jump into each other and they look ready to go, and you watch them and you're happy, like you're happy to see them, and then they go out and they do what they do on the court and we're loving it. You don't even get like a smidgen of that vibe that the basketball team gives off in the football team. So, yeah, mate, who are the captains? I don't know. Avram Papadopoulos, who's played 4 or 5 games this season at age 37. El Arabi, whose contract is ending at the end of the year, doesn't know if he's going to be there next year, if he's going to stay. Andreas Bouchalakis, who is having a really poor season. Who are the captains? Who are the ones that are inspiring? You don't have those kinds of. You don't have leaders on this team. We are repeating ourselves. Team needs a rebuild. Is Pedro Martins the right person to do it? Yeah, I mean, Labro asked the question: is Pedro Martins going to lead us to the Champions League group stage? And now I've dropped that question in the poll. Actually, there's an ongoing poll on our YouTube page right now. If you haven't voted already, go ahead and vote. 77% so far saying no. But yeah, to answer that question in a rather long way, I don't know who the leaders are, mate.
But in my opinion, can anyone, actually not in my opinion, this is a question, can anyone name a major captain, a major leader Olympiacos had since Predrag Djordjevic retired?
Milivojevic.
Was he?
I think Milivojevic was captain.
A major captain, like a Simea, how do we call it in English?
Simea.
The guy to look up to. Because Cambiaso was also captain material.
Simea is heavy. In a vari, it's a heavy thing. Like you don't have those kinds of players like Djordjevic that stays at a club for 11 years. Omar El Abdelawi, was a guy that stayed for 6 years, became captain, loved the club, was attached with the fans, and then what happened.
He didn't pick the team up at all during that season where they sucked or anything. I'm talking about I feel like our generation, Costa, was a little spoiled because we started with Koulis Karataidis, then Djordjevic came by, and then all of a sudden that was it. When it comes to captains, that was it.
What about Jorge Dominguez? You remember the Facebook post when Paulo Bento got fired or whatever, when he was like, "This is our team," blah blah blah. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, but Costa,
David Fuster as well. It's another one.
Costa, you're right though, man. Like you can't. We are a bit spoiled. Like going back to that team, and you raised an interesting example when you were talking about if that Panathinaikos team played this Olympiacos team today. No. It's a different class. Like both that Panathinaikos team and that Olympiacos team of that generation, it's a completely different league now as well. It's comparing apples and pears.
Yeah, football's so different. I think you can only get really a captain for 4 to 5 years at best. But I also want to talk about something. It seems like Socrates is not taking in a role of captain. I'm not in the dressing room, or Manolas or Bouchalakis. Like, it seems like these players are good, strong mentality, but Bouchalakis, let's scratch that. Strong mentality, but they don't have leadership. Maybe Jan and Villa too. A lot of these, Youssef El Arabi, they're big names, they're fighters, but they don't seem like leaders, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see them. I'm trying to think. I remember Alexandropoulos before the end of the first half, did a foul on Agi Bukamara and dragged him down or threw him down. Do you remember this, Costa? Did you watch? Anyway, he threw him down and started a little fight, and no one came. No one did anything. It was just like, cool. We keep on going. Like in a real team, someone would have fucking ran up there and kind of set him off. Like, he tackled Agi Bukamara and was whatever, and no one said shit. Like, you know what I mean? I just see no leadership. I wanted Socrates to fill that role at Olympiacos, but I don't think that's you know what I mean? That's not what he came to do at Olympiacos. And the rest of them, I don't think they have the mentality. Like, again, you have Gary Rodriguez, who floats in and out of the team. Ronnie Lopez was banished by the coach. Agi Bukamara is 12 years old. Mari Kamara doesn't want to be there. So that's like half your team right there. Vachlik is a goalkeeper. What is he supposed to do from there? So I don't know. There's not many leaders in the team, and I think that's interesting. But also, what do you guys think about Martins destroyed Olympiacos and Fortunis? Whatever that, you can say whatever that is. But did Martins destroy any of the leaders at Olympiacos? Like, where are the leaders anymore?
Was Fortunis ever a leader?
Fortunis was the captain, then he was dragged along the coals. Do you remember that
a while ago? Leader.
But who has Martins built up as captains and leaders of this team? Like, no one. I don't know. Ruben Semedo was the leader of the team for a while. Is that is that a good sign? Yeah, he was. He was pretty big in the dressing room.
He was comical. He was the most popular because he was funny. He wasn't.
But he was the heart.
Yeah,
he was the heart. He was the heart of the dressing room. They said that
life of the party, though. That's what they mean. Not
no. But like I mean, I think when you watch some of the first season we won the league, so Martins' second season, when they did that post that video at the end of the season, where they kind of looked back on everything, like even that video and like another similar one the year after, everyone said the same thing. It's like Semedo is the heart of the dressing room. Like he's the one that like is with the foreigners, but he's the one that has the big character to kind of bring in the Greek players and kind of tell the Greek players, chill out, like come with us. We're like, just bringing those groups together. He was doing that, and
I don't remember that.
No, but
I seem to remember
it
was mostly like the party, life of the party. Is how I remember.
You could see it though, like in the post-match videos that they do when they come back from a victory in Europe. Semedo grabbing Tsimikas and laughing with Tsimikas, and getting involved with Dorosidis and all of these things. But anyway,
I did mention that though in the show beforehand that the Semedo being ousted surely had a toll on the locker room because he was that popular. Obviously, I'm not saying bring Semedo back, to hell with him, but I did mention that in the show.
No one wants that. No one wants that.
But I figured it out. Like I can summarize this season in 2 sentences. And here it is. You look at the league table, it says success. You look at the pitch, failure. That's it for me. That's the season summarized. Success when you look at the table and failure when you look on the pitch. I'm sorry, you can't sugarcoat it anymore. Kostas Karapapas was talking about us winning the league, and that winning the league in any league is difficult. Yes, it is. You have to prove that you're a champion, like to win a league. I believe that, and I do believe that we are the best team in the league. But that also, we also shouldn't shy away from the fact that yes, we have won the league because we're the best, but we've also won it because the competition is so bloody poor. Because we're the best. Because we're the best of the worst. And that really is something that they need to recognize in the board or whoever the decision makers are at Olympiacos. And I want to plug the interview that we did with Luciano a week ago. One more time, guys. If you haven't seen that, the interview's in Greek. Για τους Ελληναράδες εδώ μέσα, παιδιά, πήγαινε ακούστε το, είναι στα ελληνικά. Back to English now. He said, like, we asked him, okay, about the Martins issue, or he commented on it anyway. So he said, in Greece, we don't know how to deal with a manager staying at one club for a prolonged period of time.
Yep.
When's the last time one manager stayed at a Greek club, not Olympiacos, at a Greek club for more than 2 seasons?
Bayevic probably. Bayevic at Olympiacos, I guess. That's the first one coming to my mind. I know. How long did Fernando Santos stay at PAOK? He had 2 years at least. Maybe 3. Not sure.
But nobody's done what Martins did. Nobody's done what Martins has done.
Yeah, and there's people like, here we go. I want to bring in different points of view. Live for 828, when Martins had 2.5 years of brilliant football, he's a great coach, but now he sucks, right? There's a lot of people who I think believe this still, that Martins did it 2 years ago, 4 years ago. He can do it again. But sometimes things change in football. I don't know how things adapt. I don't know how. I don't know. Like 2 years ago, Martins was great. Okay, but it's a bit of, what are you doing for me now? Would any other coach, I think, survive on that? Like, You know what I mean? He has been giving leeway. If he wasn't so great 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
but
he wouldn't be fired. He would have been fired by now. But because he's been so brilliant, he's gotten this leeway and has led us to this, you know?
And then I guess, like, I had this thought before coming on as well, and I was thinking that exactly this point that again Luciano kind of alluded to it. So we don't know how to deal with like having a manager for this long, and I do honestly feel that when a foreign manager stays that long, he kind of falls into the Greek mentality, and it almost feels like we've kind of become like Greek public sector after 3-4 years. You know, it's just fallen into this lazy kind of everything's going to be cool. You know, the aren't so good. We're going to win the league anyway. Martins sucks all of a sudden. It's that he's probably a victim of this mentality. That's the point we're trying to make. It's not that we don't value what he has given to the club, particularly in his first 2 seasons, and where he took us and where he went to, where he took the club to heights, famous victories. No one's forgetting any of that. But these criticisms, they have to be made. I don't know. I think that's it's a nice. I don't know what you think of that analogy. It's like the Greek public sector.
I think it's really good.
It is a strong statement. But let's not forget that this is Greece still. This is Greek football and managers. I mean, one of the favorite hobby anyone owning a club has is firing managers. And well, the situation is this: Pedro Martins is on borrowed time. If he screws up in the qualifiers, he's gone. Like, there's no way he survives it. If Olympiacos don't make it at least in the Europa League, I mean, okay, maybe he still survives that. But if they don't make the conference, that's it. There's no way he's staying if they don't make the conference, and that could still happen.
No.
That team is not making it to the conference.
But
They're
I
not
don't get
making
the
it the Champions League.
Yeah.
He's on borrowed time, guys.
But I don't get why it makes more sense to me, but maybe I'm different, to be more proactive, you know. It's like we're almost waiting for us to fuck it up in the summer, you know. It's kind of like, yeah, well, we'll give Martins the summer and, well, he'll probably fuck it up, but when he does, then we can make a decision. But it's like when you see the trains about to hit, you know, everyone's just, you can't do anything. Everyone's like, just leave it into the summer. But you're like, I want to stop the goddamn train. But everyone's like, just leave it. And the trains are going to hit. The trains are going to hit in the summer. And Olympiacos is going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, what are we going to do? We need Victor Sanchez, you know, or Beznikasi to come in. You know what I mean? It's going to be a complete disaster. We're going to have bad transfers and mismatched policy if we have to have a new coach by August 15th or some shit like that. So, also, something I find interesting with Martins, it's like, fuck, Martins lost the cup. He's just lost with Panathinaikos. But give him the summer. Martins will lose in the summer. And they said, well, Martins has always done well in the league. Let's give him until December. He's got so much. It's kind of what Costa was saying, what Luciano was saying. It's kind of like Martins has all this leeway. So no one knows when to fire his ass. You know what I mean? And also, I think it's a massive kind of fuck up on their behalf to admit that they've screwed it up so bad with Martins. They gave him the new contract in December, January, and now they have to fire the guy. Like, they have so much egg on their face, you know, kind of just looking like idiots. But where this is going now with fucking Feguli again and other transfers, I won't judge it until players are signed, but is this going to change? Is this going to change at all? I don't know. I personally hold this belief deeply. Martins has done great things. Maybe he can turn it around. But I think just for the precedent and for saying, listen, this can't continue. We have standards here, Pedro Martins. Thank you so much. You've done amazing. But we've given you enough time. We've given you all the players you want. This Olympiacos team that we're talking about is so shit, has the highest wage budget of any Olympiacos team in years. Spent the most on transfers in a long time. Kostas Manoulas. They spent money on Pierre Koundé, Henry Onyekuru, Ronnie Lopez. They cost a loan fee as well. These are not cheap players. I don't know. It's not good enough for me. I think I keep going back to it. I think that's why the fans aren't going to the stadium. I don't think the fans support this. I don't think the majority of the fans care to even go. Gate 7 at one point just started lighting flares to stop the game, and they did that successfully. What the hell's going on? Like, what is this normal behavior going on? What? I don't know.
I think that also goes back to the mentality thing, because you think about Man United. Ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they spent at least £1 billion, and they never came close to winning the league. They didn't even make it to the Champions League semi-finals. You look at Panathinaikos. After the big exit, when all the big names left, when all the big characters left, Alafouzos spent a lot of money, and Panathinaikos are in this state that they are. You need mentality so that you do not throw money to fix your problems. And that's unfortunately what could happen at Olympiacos unless there's some voices and personalities in the locker room. So you were saying, Costa?
No, keep going, mate.
No, I'm done.
Shall we read some comments then? We can go here.
You know what, Labro?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not a coincidence that whenever we've played our so-called best starting 11, it's been so poor to a level that we've come to expect it. I mean, I didn't want to expect it today. I thought, we've won the league, kind of the pressure's off. We've got to beat Panathinaikos. Surely these people understand like what it means to play Panathinaikos. What is it, 4 times a single game and not scored a goal? It's like, come on, surely you're going to get something today. The season's nearly over. You're going to give something back to the fans. We tweeted out this morning, like the fans expect, the fans deserve. The fans deserve nothing less than a win today. They didn't deliver. But there are 2 games from January onwards where we actually saw some football. Olympiacos in the cup, where we trusted to play the younger, not kind of best 11 players, and they turned it around. And the other game was against Aris the other day, where we played a heavily rotated squad with players like Fadiga, Carvalho,
Magallanes.
But Magallanes was fantastic. I've been saying since the beginning of the season, I'm very glad for the lad. I don't know why he was scared to play him today. Martins exposed Avram Papadopoulos today, playing him next to Socrates. And I was thinking, Panathinaikos is very good on the counter. They play transition football very well. They've got fast players. How you're going to play with Socrates and Avram? I think he exposed Avram today. I don't understand why we don't have the balls to play a player like Magallanes in this kind of game. Some people a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. But really, what did we have to lose? Did we have to expose Avram like that? A guy that, he's 37 years old. He plays once every 3 months, once in a blue moon. But I want to talk about some of the tactical decisions and like the choices he made today. Like, let's try and analyze that for what it's worth. I know some people say, it's not worth it, Costa. But what did Madi Camara and Agibu Camara bring to this team today? Because the midfield was a boulevard for Panathinaikos to just run through. And Madi Camara was walking. Agibu Camara was like just running aimlessly. And it seemed to me like they were playing very far forward, very far away from Mvila. And I didn't know who was the connecting number 8. Who was the connecting player in the midfield? Who was playing around the semicircle? Because neither of them were doing it effectively, Madi or Agibu. And I detect something in Agibu that I really don't like. I think he's got a bad attitude. And I don't know if Madi's discontent is rubbing off on him a little bit, because they're obviously very close. But there's something about his attitude that I don't like. They just look like they're not, they both want to leave in the summer. And if that is the case, there's nothing worse than keeping those kinds of players in your dressing room. they both need to go. They both need to go. I don't care if we get 5 million and for Agibo and a percentage fee. Get rid. They're toxic for the dressing room, those kinds of players. Get rid of them. And again, half time, what does he do? He's got no midfield. So what does he decide to do? He decides to take off a midfielder and put a striker on. And the only thing that we were doing to try and score in the first half was get the ball out to the wings, cross it in. They've got 5 defenders in the box and we've got El Arabi. So that means you either need to be David Beckham in your crossing precision to get it to where the attacker's going to go, or right onto El Arabi's head. And we know that Kevin Lala is not David Beckham and Ole Grabchuk is not Grigoris Georgatos. So how are you going to score? The ball was just going out to the wings, hit and hope and cross. Maybe that fit his tactics. Maybe that fit his tactics to bring Tiquinho on in the second half and say, put more bodies in the box and put more balls into the box. What does that say about Pedro Martins' tactical choices and how he wants Olympiacos to play? Is that what he wants us to play? Balls out to the wing and cross it in. That's not what we saw in the first 2 seasons. So again, I go back to what we've been talking about the last few weeks and months. Managers lost.
Yeah.
I don't know why Pierre Kunde hasn't come on today. And at the end, bringing on Kane. Why did you bring Kane on a defensive option? What does he give you, attacking wise? I'll stop there.
Well, to be honest, when Olympiacos won the league, when they beat PAOK and Tubam and they sealed it mathematically, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Don't play the first players, the first team players anymore, or at least those who you're planning to use for next season, because you're going to need them in July, and you can't afford any injuries, any 6-month layoffs right now. So, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, you got big derbies coming up. Yeah, you never lose to Panathinaikos, AEK, and PAOK. Play the youngsters. Screw it. Play the youngsters. I want to see Surlis. I want to see Bagalyanis. I want to see Kitsos. I want to see Algasimba. I want to see Fatiga. I want to see play those kids. Give them a chance. Let them earn their way into preseason as well. Save your.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see Vatslik. I didn't want to see Mvila. I didn't want to see El Arabi or Tiquinho. I just play Fortunis. Have him on. Have him. Let him get some match fitness. You're going to need him next season. God knows you're going to need him. Don't play your first. Just play your seconds.
I'm with you on that, mate. Like I said, but I don't know why it didn't continue.
Yeah. But shall we read comments, because we're getting a lot of them and a lot of different opinions out there, and we can just do them real quick. So you have this comment from John in Australia. It's simple, really. He worked out that the board only cares about titles. He didn't get the investment to cover the departures and had to adapt his game plan to suit the cattle he had. I saw comments too, like people do this all the time. Why don't you criticize Chairman Marinakis? He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. I think we're very open to criticizing the chairman when he does things wrong and when he doesn't do things right. But I think it's really footballing decisions right now. I think Vagelis Marinakis has given an incredible amount of money for a Greek football team, and it's been massively misused. And I think that falls on his football people, the people he's chosen to run the club. And that's what we've done here. And we've criticized those people because really those are the people who need to be criticized, I don't know. We can get into that more. And a lot of comments about Envia this season. Andreas says, Envia has been great. Not as good as last season, but without him, things would have been worse this season. For sure. I really like Envia, but a lot of people do not in the comment section. Comments about the subs from Manos. He says, brings out Rodriguez for Buena. Well, at least Valbuena gave an assist, but the changes he makes dissips his panic. Very true. And we have here from Lakis, the most disappointing thing with Martins is that the team never developed an identity nor style all season. And then from Sparos, how about bringing in a manager who has better experience, more than Martins? For example, one Champions League, one, etc. Okay. Yeah. I saw Zinedine Zidane's name in the chat, but yeah, Viper.
Yeah, and he's bringing Kunku with him.
Yeah, exactly. Kunku when I fucked up and Kudu or fucking. Kotsis wrote that Martins will 100% be staying for next season. I'm also saying it too. Our misery will 100% be staying. I'm saying it right now. Our misery will 100% be staying through the summer. Our lives will suck. into the
I don't know.
summer. Okay, moving on.
I'm not putting a final nail in the coffin just yet.
Yeah, I know.
All I'm saying is that when it comes to the qualifiers in Europe, it's do or die for Pedro Martins. That's it. Itani Epitase. That's it.
But I'm still saying we're miserable all summer. But anyway, considering on DG14 hits kind of like what I like to hit. I feel like the team lacks leadership, but in the board and not in the squad. There's no director of football that's willing to take the responsibility of firing Martins and finding a new manager. I still don't even know who the director of football is, to be honest.
But don't forget, Garebe is the guy that bought Pedro Martins to Greece in the first place. And in the first year, when he lost that game to who was it? Lamia, I think. Yeah, in the cup, when some people inside the club were telling Panathinaikos, get rid of him. Garebe said, he goes, I go. So it's also an issue with him, with Garebe.
So if you think he'll still say if he goes, I go? You think he'll hold on that position even right now?
It's his guy.
I don't know.
It's his guy.
But at this point, I think it's worth it. If he says I go with him, I say pack your bags, enjoy somewhere else.
But his position is very important, man. The position
I know it is
very important.
But we'll continue on. Well, some guys claim that Panathinaikos didn't buy Martins' first choices.
True.
Like Pepe, Ronnie Lopez. Are none of these guys his first choices? Kunde?
I seem to remember Onyekuru was his first choice.
Yes.
As well.
Come on, man. Every Martins transfer has flopped. Come on. I don't want Martins making the transfer policy. He sucks, as we've seen. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm back to my trains point. We're still waiting for the trains to crash. Damn right. Tuta de la Tut says, I was at the game today. The fans are always the best, no matter what. That's true. I'm not criticizing the fans. All I'm saying is I think a lot of us fans and a lot of people who were going to the stadium have been a bit disenchanted with the team. Roman says, good friend, Panathinaikos was praying for Martins to start our first team. There's no way we had the same performance with our younger lads are motivated to prove things. Exactly, Roman. I think we're on the same place there. I think for sure. And Manos goes, by the way, the only time we beat Panathinaikos clearly was in 2020 season, and in the playoffs all these years, whatever our quality is, we're never superior like Bayern and Borussia Dortmund. I think so too.
I never said we are. All I'm saying is, first of all, there is a major difference between Bayern and Dortmund. All I'm saying is that they need to copy the mentality. They don't have it. They need to copy it. They need to make themselves a world within a world. In the league they're not in Greece though yet. And just a tiny little bit, I'd like to remind everyone was saying Olympiacos were throwing the game away when they started their seconds. I think from now on people are going to be saying Olympiacos are throwing the game when they start their firsts.
Yeah. That's a good point. I also think Olympiacos is more like PSG than it is Bayern Munich. Is that a hot take right there?
That is excellent, Labro. That is excellent.
They're more incompetent and they win the league, but that's my
more like Paris Saint-Germain, less than Bayern. I get it. Excellent, excellent.
Olympiacos is nowhere near a German football team. They're more just like, oh, this guy's a star. Let's bring him in. Yeah, anyway, Lakis goes, the best performance of the year was with Ofi and Crete. I think so too. Manos makes a joke. Reporters, Martins will give a chance to some of the players from Ari's game. Martins gave a chance to Abraham. That's a good one. Continuing on, DG14 says the worst things how our fullbacks stay extremely widespread width, and that's totally pointless since our midfielders need 2 minutes to move the ball from one side to the other. Tempo is like sleeping. Andrei says Agibu is out of fuel since AFCON. Brilliant until February though. Fatigue. Sure.
Well, this is the problem with the show is that we never talk about how important it is that Olympiacos need to buy two new fullbacks. We never mentioned that in the show.
Yeah.
We haven't been mentioning it since June. We have not been doing that, guys.
2 new fullbacks need like 20 new fullbacks, like Kitos, Nucci, Mikas. Fucking hell. Okay. Moving on. Irish P says Martins didn't give a damn this season. No will to work whatsoever. Honestly, he said, do you guys see what he said when after tonight? He was like,
No, I didn't.
Please tell me. He said, like, we didn't get the match, but we're the champions and no one can take that away from us. Or like, essentially, he was like, let me read that was the headline, I think. Like, we wanted the win, but like, we shouldn't forget that we're the champions. I saw that. I can look back and find that, but it just passed by my screen earlier tonight. I don't know if that's exactly what he said. But Someone correct me if it's wrong. Anyway, Panathinaikos, I think we read this one already. I'm going crazy. And then he didn't. Lifer again was a supporter of Pedro Martins, so always interesting opinion. Lifer, continue to comment, even though we don't share your opinion. Thank you. Number one said that he didn't failed hard this season, but maybe a coach that shows work for 3 years, 2 years max, 3 years, a little much, and deserves a bit of trust at his lowest point. His trust, what trust now? What trust now? I don't know what more does he want? To lose to everyone at home? I don't know what more he wants. He lost to Panathinaikos at home. He lost 3-0 to Atalanta at home. He lost us the cup. He lost the cup with Lamia. He lost the cup with PAOK. What the hell are we even talking about? I don't know. What trust? What trust?
May I read Martins' comments?
Okay, you go. I only got a headline passing by, so.
It was a game of bad quality for us. Panathinaikos managed to score. Our game was predictable. Panathinaikos were well put together. They had accuracy in their passes. Just a few things from us. We had one opportunity with Gary Rodriguez in the first half, and from then on, nothing. We wanted the victory, but we didn't play well. I absolutely understand our fans' anger. No one can take away the title. We are titles by a margin, and that cannot be taken away from us. It was a game that we wanted to win, to dedicate it to our fans. We didn't play well. Our opponent was better.
Yeah. That one dedicated, like the one line where it's like, we're champions, no one can take. That's like such the public employee line. You do like the bare minimum with like all of the expectations. You're like, God damn it, we're the champions, so don't question this shit. Like, I realize we played bad, but we're the champions. Like, literally 2028, he's going to be like, God damn it, we lost 4-0 with Bayer Leverkusen, but we were the champions. God damn it, you hear me? But anyway, moving on to many people blame the directors for the bad transfers, but forget that Martins and in general any manager have a huge role in transfers. Yeah, I think that's true as well. Martins has brought in a lot of flops, a lot of Portuguese players. That's true. And he goes on to say, we have no pace in attack. El Arabi, Tequino, Valbuena, Masuras, all very slow. Masuras more so than the others. Our build-up and counterattacks are so slow. Dino says, with the right transfers, we can make it to the Champions League. That's optimistic, but maybe so.
Like I said, you can't just throw money to your problems. You need to create something deeper than that. You need mentality. You need leaders. You need an atmosphere. You need to place the bar somewhere. You need to get the right people in key positions that go into the dressing room, that are around. You can't just throw money. Look at Man United. Look at PSG. Look at Man City.
Budgets don't play football, guys. Like, look at the budgets of the two teams out there on the pitch today. I think I took a screenshot.
Yeah.
We're like quadruple their value. It's like,
yeah, like Panathinaikos' budget, or right, the value of their squad is at 33 million euros. These are transfer mark stats. 33 million. Olympiacos is 118.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys.
It's bad.
So there you go, guys. Budgets don't play football. All of those things that Costa just said.
Yeah. And then more comments. RSB, a change of coach needs a lot of preparation, which has not been done. True. I think that's the disaster. That's the train wreck. You know, it's like, don't worry, we'll just get to the end of the season and Martins will solve it and we'll figure it out. We'll go again. I think that's the mentality at Reddy at this point, at Olympiacos, with the higher ups and with the chairman. I think it's kind of, Martins has done it. He'll do it again this summer. We'll bring in new players. We'll get rid of some of the outwards. But it's like, what if it's Martins? You know what I mean? It seems like if it goes to shit and it goes to shit early, there's no plan B. Maybe there is. We don't know. But anyway, Andreas this is the idea of the chairman. I guess Andreas puts it nicely. Some fresh, nice players, a better transfer window, get a new whole start for the whole team with or without Martins. But I think it's kind of like with Martins. We get Martins some new players, we get it, and he'll turn it around. And Antino says we can't just get rid of Martins because we can't be sure that the next coach is going to be good or not. That's a big thing as well. It's kind of like, well, Martins wins us the championship every year. What if the new guy fucks this up? We should keep Martins. You know, it's kind of like that mediocrity is accepted. It's like Martins gets us the championship. That's what we want. That's fine. We'll continue, even if it means shitty football. I think that's that goes back to Luciano's point, where it's like Martins is a known factor. We know what he's bringing to us, and okay, it's not so bad. We get the championship every year. And DG14,
it can't get worse, guys. It can get so much worse.
It can get much worse.
Yeah. I cannot see PAOK, AEK, and Panathinaikos being worse than they are this season. AEK have already signed Zuber, and they're trying to sign Krychowiak. Don't be surprised if they land Krychowiak. That shows intent, what they did with Zuber and what they're trying to do with Krychowiak. I cannot see PAOK being worse, especially now that Lucescu is getting his points across. Panathinaikos are pushing for second place now. They absolutely made an ass of Olympiacos this season. It can get worse. Next season, the league, if nothing changes, nothing drastically improves, next season, the league could be worse.
Yeah. And with that, right before we go back to the comments, guys, everyone, please subscribe. If you're new here, drop us a like. Also, comments mean a lot. Can you guys just drop a comment if you're here live? Not the comments on the live stream, but comments on the video. I guess they're different. They do things to the algorithm. Anyway, so just like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and hopefully happier days are coming. That's that. So getting back into the comments, where the hell was I?
DG14, that's the guy.
DJ14 is popping comments off, and I'm liking the comments. It's definitely not just his fault, but this Reabchuk guy runs out of the pitch with the ball at least 2 times a game. Are we sure he's a pro footballer? It's so true. It's so true. Sometimes you just watch this guy Reabchuk play football, and you're like, "Are you? This is your job? Like, are you serious?" Sometimes, I watch him dribble a football, and I'm just like, "Is this really your job? Is this really? You've done this since you were a child, and this is what we've got." I don't know. And Manos goes, if Chimikas comes back, he would be a reserve of Oleg. Maybe with Pedro, you don't know at this point.
No, he wouldn't.
And we got this from Fetanos. Onyekuru is Neymar, El Arabi is Mbappe, and Ronnie Lopez is Messi. That's for sure. Manos goes, I mentioned Bayern to state that they are far better than BVB and that they have, what's the news on Mkhitaryan? We were sleeping and having a dream.
Too early. It's
We've
too
been
early.
having a dream.
Resparo, go back and play FIFA football career and send us more pictures so that we can keep dreaming, man. Yeah. But it's honestly, the whole transfer stuff, that it's, Timo Pukki, Mkhitaryan, James Rodriguez, some of the names that I've seen already.
Christopher and Nkunku, that's a fresh one.
Christopher, that one is self-made.
It's a fresh one.
That's self-made.
It's a fresh one right there.
That's real fake news created by me right there. It's not great.
Remember when Robinho joined Manchester City and he said, "I'm so happy to have joined Chelsea." Imagine something like that happens with Nkunku. They're all we're trying to get in Nkunku and we accidentally get in Nkunku. That would be hilarious right there.
Just a small mistake. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Where am I? Fatano says, I've never seen Martins this relaxed looking this late in the season. Usually at this time he looks like he hasn't slept for 2 years. Now he looks like in preseason relaxed. I don't know. Heidi says, we don't care over the title. We do care for the title a bit, but football is a spectacle, supposed to be entertaining, sometimes beautiful. Martins Olympiacos is not attractive to watch. It really is not.
Go tell Tottenham that. Do they prefer the spectacle or do they prefer to win a Carabao Cup next season?
Yeah. Okay,
I don't know, Costa. What do you think?
Don't talk about Tottenham. We've got a big game tomorrow. Tomorrow against Arsenal at home.
Lakis goes, why would a fullback who's solid defensively and can contribute offensively come to Olympiacos? Richer teams will snap up. We have to develop players of such quality, such as Kitsos. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Pau was better, yes, but without clear chances. That's true, I think. Heidi says, it's not this year, guys. It's 3 years of Martins. We just don't play beautiful football, just winning for the title. I kind of agree with that as well.
Can you go back to that comment about attacking fullbacks?
Yeah, here we go.
Why would a fullback who is solid defensively and can contribute offensively? Okay. Yeah, no, but when's the last time we signed the complete fullback?
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
A complete player. But in general, it's very hard to get those kinds of players to come to Greece, particularly with the level of the league today. Maybe back in 2004, when we were at, the peaking as Greek football. Yeah. But now
you want the one tool. You want one tool. I think if I made the best thing you want, and I always think of Arthur Mazuaku as an example, or maybe Omar, you want the more attacking player, because I feel like in Greece, the attacking player is not as exposed often. And then in Europe, you put an athletic, which happens in the past, like you put an athletic winger who can track back and is decent defensively as a winger. I think that's the formula that's worked pretty well for fullbacks at Olympiacos, more attacking minded. But when we go to Europe, like, okay, these guys aren't incompetent at defending, but you put an extra winger or midfielder to support them defensively, and they're pacey and good going forward. I think that's the formula that works much better than, let's say, Oleg Ryabchuk, who's good first and foremost defensively, but that's an opinion anyway. Yeah, Patalek says then he expects the team to do well. That's a random one. Chimika, yeah, we got that one.
Saw that. Hot take.
And another Haris one about the owner. He only cares. That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true. I disagree. And it's not like we're just like, oh, the owner's the best. We love the owner. You can visit numerous sites for information like that. We've criticized him in the past, but it's a lot of money. I don't think he's getting money back from Olympiacos at this point. Like, it's a lot of money.
Not from that. Surely not from that side. I mean, guys, when it comes to a team, we all win, we all lose. That's how it is. I mean, if you want to pin it all on Martins, you want to pin it all on the people surrounding him, pin it all on the players, pin it all on the owner, go ahead. But the reality is completely different. Like, we're not slagging Martins off. We're not saying that Pedro Martins gets ousted and Olympiacos become peachy. We're just, all it's saying is that everyone carries a responsibility. Martins has his own, the players have their own. I mean, we were just slagging off mentality and the lack of captain.
Yeah.
The owner definitely, the owner and the president definitely has his own.
It's complicated. There's a lot of factors. You can't say it's the players, it's Martins, it's the management. All of these things matter. The culture at the club, the mentality at the club. All of these things matter. There's no simple right or wrong. And I think that's the problem that you get a lot with media and Greece. It's like the players suck. The players aren't doing it. Or if the manager just gets lost, the team will turn around. It's all these factors in a football club. Everything has to be working, not right and perfect, but there has to be some rhythm. But it's not to blame in one group or the other, right? All of these things contribute and work together, the backroom staff, et cetera, et cetera. This is complicated shit. It's not FIFA. It's really complicated, some of these things, managing relationships, managing agents, managing players. It's big. And Lakis continues, there is no time to change the core of the team for Champions League qualifiers. At best, you will be able to integrate one to new players as the experience has shown. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Monos goes, maybe we don't have the ball to risk with a new coach because every coach that comes here will be a bet. Yeah.
Martins was a bet. Quite a huge one.
Yeah. But continuing on, there's a lot of games this year we played awful and we won because of luck. Now our luck stopped. I'm afraid of what will happen if our luck flips. We play good football and we don't win. Well, yeah, that makes sense. At least Ryabchuk shows heart on the pitch. Yeah, well, fuck, I could go play with heart on the pitch too.
No, that's not that simple. It's not.
I don't know. I have higher standards than like have heart on the pitch. Like, god damn it, like. It's the very basic. It's the very goddamn basic. Just trying and running. Like, I know because we have so much dickheads on this team, like Mari Kamara, who like don't try, and it's just like, oh well, he runs and he tries. Well, it's like, for fuck's sake, they all should be running and trying. Like, how much money are these guys paid to like run and try? Anyway, yeah, like the DG4 said, if you pay me 1 million euros a year to play for Olympiacos, all show. He said exactly what I was saying.
If you pay me 1 million euros a year, I'm leaving, man. I'm getting my own little place in the Caribbean. Screw you guys.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. We can. To be honest, guys, thank you for all the comments, but God, I think we're done. I think we're done for tonight. We've run an hour. I don't think there's much else to say about tonight. Basketball team plays next week. That's super exciting in Belgrade. I don't know if anyone is going out. Costa, are you going? I don't know. But yeah, that is much more exciting.
No, mate, I wish, but nah, that ain't happening, man.
But Go ahead. No. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, if anyone's looking for tickets, I think on Barcelona's site they were selling tickets for something like 260 euros.
Jesus Christ.
But But I'm hearing also that more recently the pricing of the hotels are starting to go down because they rocketed earlier in the week for obvious reasons. But it's very, very, very hard to find a ticket.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I heard.
in conclusion, what I would like to say is that it is obvious Olympiacos need to strengthen every single position on the pitch except goalkeepers. The only position that doesn't need any addition is the goalkeeper's position. Everything else, it needs additions.
Yeah. That may be right. And who's going to do that? I don't know. Who are they going to bring? Who knows? You know who's going to be analyzing who they bring?
Who?
Adi will be fucking analyzing God who knows where from mid-table Turkish team. Like, but Adi's going to be like, well, Olympiacos has done it. They've signed Henry Nkuku. Maybe that's not even his name. But anyway, he's going to be some random.
And Kudu.
George Kevin Nkudu. I don't know. Jesus Christ. I can't do it anymore. I can't. Anyway, Adi's going to be like on summer holiday away from his child. Be like, okay, I got some downtime. And it's going to be like breaking. Olympiacos signs fast winger from Turkey. Adi's going to be like, fuck. I got to do one of those deep dives for the site. So, yeah.
We're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note, I guess we're just going to wrap it up. Man of the match tonight, I'm going to go with probably a kid in the stand asking for a jersey. Seems to be a lot of them. I saw a few good sides.
Even that's getting really boring. It's like,
that is so bad.
They're not even trying. They're literally just going like, give me a shirt, like on a piece of paper. It's not even creative. It's like, come on, guys, like make an effort. But you know what? I just want to read the poll that we put up. So we asked the question: Can Pedro Martins lead us to the group stages of the UEFA Champions League? 39% of you say yes, he can, and 61% of you have said no, he can't. Out of those of you that voted, nearing 100. So,
well, on that note, man of the match is now the guy who set off the smoke bomb, who stalled the game for a bit so our eyes could recover. Yeah, that's And Roman goes, kid asking for Oleg shirt, truly a hero. Who would make the sign and be like, Oleg Rabchuk, I want your shirt? Maybe because he's like doing the math in his head. He's like, okay, the other kids will be asking for the big player shirt, so I'll ask for Oleg's shirt because he's shit, and no one else will ask for his shirt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I would be like, maybe I will ask for Kane's shirt. I'd be like, I'm going for Kane's shirt because no one else even knows who this guy is, and then I would get a shirt while the other fuckers got no shirt. So, and Manos,
You're welcome, Mano. Our pleasure as always, Mano.
Yeah, great keeping company with everyone, talking the shit like usual. I'm usually talking bullshit. Talked a lot of bullshit tonight as well.
There's another game in 2 days.
Brilliant. Okay. Well,
3 rather. Saturday. So Saturday is the last home game of the season against Baug. Question: Will we play our first team or will we play second?
I don't know. But the thing is, too, it makes more sense to play the second team. So when they lose, you're just like, oh, it's the second team. Like, what is the incentive to play the first team now? You play the first team and you lose, you're just like, fuck, we lost. And
save them. Save the starters you need for next season. You cannot afford an injury. You really cannot afford an injury.
And also, it gives you the cop-out card when the media is like, oh, shit, you lost at home to Pauk. And he's like, well, I played the second team to give them experience. Like,
yeah, but now now they're calling it, it's going to be the Fiesta game as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it?
What Fiesta?
Yeah. They said that they're going to hold the Fiesta to lift the cup on Saturday after the Bauk game. So what team are they going to play? Yeah, I mean, Costa, Costa's in tears.
Can we have a fan camera chasing after Lucescu that night, please? Can we have that?
Yeah,
can we have a camera on Lucescu throughout the entire night?
Anyone who's watching today that goes to the game, somebody take up Kostas Lianos' call here.
Yeah. And on that note, I guess we will head out. I'm doing the outro. God bless me. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Subscribe,
guys,
everyone.
and follow us on social media. We got a lot of hot takes. We got a lot of exclusives.
Right. Hopefully another player interview in the works comes out soon. Everyone, we got something cooking. Let's see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, have a good night. Have a good morning to the people listening this probably tomorrow morning. The commuters and what else. So talk to everyone again later this week. Hopefully on a good note. After the fiesta. Mathieu Valbuena will be very drunk probably. Anyway, on that note, it is over. Talk to you guys later. Bye.